when you want to make a video, but there's a reflection in your glasses, and it's annoying. So today we are sitting outside because it's a nice day. It's a little chilly, but it's a nice day, and I wanted to talk about something kind of creepy. I haven't made a video about a paranormal experience in a while, and I wanted to make one because something happened to me recently that actually scared me. So I wanted to share it with you guys today, and I wanted to sit outside because I know I've said this before, but usually when I talk about my I can't say paranormal for some reason. Usually when I talk about my paranormal experiences, they have a tendency of getting worse or happening more often, or just I start noticing things more, and I didn't want to do it downstairs in the room that this actually happened because it freaked me out, so I decided to sit outside. It's also a really nice day and I don't have to work today, so I took off my glasses because the reflection in them was irritating me. So yeah, but anyway, so this occurred maybe I think last week because it was close to the end of the month, so it had to be around the 27th, maybe the 26th, and it was late at night. I actually got home from work and I ended up falling asleep, makeup on and everything, which is a big no-no for my face, and I ended up falling asleep pretty early. My mom was with my uncle in the music room rehearsing or doing whatever they do in there. So I was in the room alone and all the lights were off. Usually I have a TV on or a lamp on because I'm not a big fan of the dark. But I guess I fell asleep so quickly and so early that the sun was still up and there was still light coming in the room, so I didn't turn anything on. And so the lights were off and I felt my mom come into the room, and I ended up waking up for a second, and I turned something on Netflix and put my headphones in, and I ended up falling back asleep. So I ended up having this weird dream. I can't really remember what happened, but I know it was a nightmare because usually when I do dream, it's either really fucked up, like creepy ass fucking dreams, or nothing else, or I don't dream at all. So it's either really nightmarish dreams or no dreams. So I don't know what that is, I don't know what that means, but you know, it's usually dreams that are really fucked up that I don't understand and end up making me wake up with anxiety attacks or something along those lines. But I know I ended up having a nightmare, and my body started to feel weird, like when you're having a nightmare and you're starting to recognize that you're having a nightmare, so you start to wake up. And so I started to feel really weird, and I started to wake up and open my eyes, and standing in front of me I saw the shape of a person. I saw the shape of a man, and it scared me enough to where, you know, when you're little and your parents come in to see if you're asleep and you try to like crunch into the bed and pretend that you're sleeping? Well, when I saw this figure, it made me jump, and I squeezed my eyes closed, and I pulled the blankets up more around me because it scared the shit out of me. And for a minute I thought it was my mom seeing if I was asleep or grabbing something. So I opened my eyes again, and the figure was completely gone. And the reason I say it was a man is because he had the shape of a man. I couldn't see his face, but it looked like he was wearing black pants, a plaid vest over like a dress shirt, and it looked like he was wearing a bowler hat. Now, granted, since I did have a nightmare, this could have been created from my nightmare, and I could have been seeing something as I was waking up from the nightmare, but I think that it was something more than that, because this figure that I saw gave me an actual physical fear of reaction. It gave me a reaction that made me like squeeze my eyes shut, grip my blanket, and like a child try to pull it over my head. And I remember I woke up and my mom was asleep next to me, and I turned on the lamp in the room because it scared me. I couldn't go back to sleep for several hours because it scared me, because I kept feeling this presence in the room, like if I closed my eyes it would appear again, and I didn't want to see it again. And it's been a really long time since I've seen an actual like apparition or a figure or a shadow person. Usually it's just like I hear noises, or I feel a presence, or like I'll feel the bed moving when there's nobody around and there's no dogs, and stuff like that. But recently it was an actual like figure of a person that scared the shit out of me and gave me an actual physical reaction of heart racing, my skin raising up, and me not wanting to move or get out of the bed or move towards the doorway, because I felt like if I moved or if I did anything else, something would happen or I would see it again. And usually things like that don't make it so I don't want to go to sleep. And that was one of the first times in a very long time that it scared me enough to not want to go back to sleep. Since then, I have started to notice things. I've started to notice, like, the movements on the bed. So, like, at night, when my mom and I are asleep, I'll feel movements next to my feet. Like, I'll feel the bottom of the bed move, and I'll think, like, it's my mom moving. So I'll look at her, and she hasn't moved at all, and I'll think it's a dog, and there's no dog in the room. So it feels like somebody, like, bumps into the bed and, like, makes it shake. I've noticed that. Or, like, I'll hear things moving, I'll hear knocking noises and stuff like that, and I've started to notice, like, feel like there's this area next to my door. It's this corner behind my door, and I always look at it because I feel like there's something standing in that corner looking at me whenever I'm alone in the room, which is part of the reason why I'm not making this video in the house, in the room, because I always feel like when I'm alone in the room, it feels like somebody is standing behind my door looking at me. And at night, when there are no lights on, that part of the room is darker than any other part of the room. And I don't think it's because no light hits it, because a lot of light hits it when there is lights on. I don't know why, but it's darker there. And it's really creepy, and it makes me actually kind of uncomfortable, not in the sense that, like, I need to get out of here, it's not safe, but in the sense, like, there is something there staring at me, and it makes me feel weird because I can't see it, or whoever it is, or whatever it is. I haven't had any there are times when I do wake up with, like, scratch marks or bruises or something like that, and I don't know if it's because I'm, like, scratching in my sleep, or I beat the hell out of myself during the day and I don't notice. There have been a couple of times where I've found scratches on my body that there's no way, like, I could have scratched myself unless I got scratched by a dog or something in my sleep. But other than that, like, there's been scratches, like, on my back that there's no way for me to reach it, or scratches on me that, like, I couldn't have done it. It's only happened to me a couple of times. I always chalk it up to, like, I'm so fucking clumsy during the day, and I run into so much shit that I always think that, you know, like, I probably ran into something, because I don't like to think about maybe something grabbed me or scratched me in my sleep. There has been one time that I did have sleep paralysis once in my life, and that was probably one of the scariest things that I've ever experienced, which I can make a separate video about that, but I do remember that. And I think a lot of the reason why this experience scared me so much was because I hadn't had any paranormal or ghostly experience beforehand in a really, really, really long time, and then all of a sudden it just kind of happened, and I don't know. It's just really weird, and it makes me feel really uncomfortable, and I just keep feeling like I'm gonna see it again at some point, or I'm gonna hear it, or something's going to happen. Hopefully nothing bad, but enough to scare the shit out of me, which, I know, stuff happens, but, you know, I'm prone, as I've said in other videos, that I'm prone to, paranormal experiences, and I've seen ghosts and stuff like that. One of my friends who's a Wiccan, she said it's because she thinks that I'm a sensitive, or mostly that I'm an empath, so I can sense and feel other things that others can't. So if that is the truth, then that's pretty cool, and I don't mind it as long as nothing bad happens and nothing attaches to me. There you go, that's my current paranormal experience that I've had recently. I know for a fact that there's a very good chance that since I'm talking about this out loud, something's going to probably happen, and if it does, I'll update and I'll talk about it, and we will see. Maybe I'll light a candle, which and see, like, if that helps, because I've heard, like, fire or something is cleansing and something like that. I don't know. I don't know, but for some reason, anyway, candles make me feel relaxed and calm, like there's some kind of weird protective aura around me, so that's probably what I'm gonna do. And yeah, thank you for joining me in this video, and hopefully, like, if you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that like button. And I have other paranormal experiences and ghostly experiences on my channel if you'd like to check that out. I can link a couple down in the description thing. And yeah, if you would like to subscribe, please do. I would love for you to join me, and you can hear more of my paranormal experiences and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful day and a beautiful night, and this is Kat signing off. I'm gonna go back down in my creepy room and try to write or something, and we'll see what happens.